this is Becoming a Professional Bass Player. My name's Deborah and this is the video journal of my career transition. It's Tuesday morning and I have been reading a book that was suggested to me, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And in this book, he suggests that if you make habit changes that are really tiny, just like 1% improvements all throughout your system, you're much more likely to reach your goal. And I've been trying this out because I'm pretty clear on my goal, although it has sort of increased and shaped up. I've sort of changed my goal in a way. I'd like to create paid work for as many musicians in Southend as possible. And that might seem very far-fetched and ambitious maybe, but why not? And he talks about making 1% changes to your system all along the road in order to reach that goal. And some of the examples he gives include the British cycling team, who apparently had never won accolades and medals until they brought in a coach that improved their system by 1% everywhere, which even included the massage oil that the physiotherapists used, how comfortable the seats of the bikes were, testing out which outfits were more aerodynamic, all sorts of different things. And actually, as I was listening to it, because I find it quite difficult to sit down and read, as many people do these days, I realised that a lot of these things I do anyway because of menopause and ADHD. If I don't put something in my way, like almost trip over that job, it won't get done. Unless it's about the bass or Glitterball, because that's always on my mind. So that all gets done. But I thought, actually, that's really useful. How could I improve my systems by 1% everywhere? So one of the things I did, he was talking about writing his newsletter back in the days when blogs and email, before we all got like too many email newsletters, and absolutely tired of them. James Clear developed one, and he had a discipline for writing, sending them certain times a week. So I made a commitment to be here at 8:15, and he said, when you make an intention, you've got to say the time and the place and what you're going to do. So one of them for me was to record my YouTubes on a Monday and a Thursday. So let's, you can hold me to account on that. Let's see how I do. And I will do, you have to say a place. So on Mondays, I will be in the office, and on Thursdays, I will be in Waitrose car park about to have my coffee with Georgina. And time 8:15, day, Mondays, Thursdays, location, office, Waitrose. And then it's much more likely to happen. So what I found, one of the things I think is that James Clear probably isn't a primary caregiver. I'm not going to say about the difference between men and women, because these days, whilst it's not the universal experience, I know lots of fantastic men that are primary caregivers, and my husband is one of them. And I think if you're a primary caregiver, life is not very regular. There's certain things that you're always doing, but things get in the way. Someone needs home economics ingredients and you have to dash to Sainsbury's at the last minute. Somebody needs a lift, somebody comes back from the train station, I forgot my pass, I'm going to be late, I don't want a late mark. Looking for socks for the PE kit, all sorts of different things. So I suspect, to be able to have his life as regular as James Clear has it, I suspect he's not doing the primary caregiving, because I know Spencer struggles with this as well. He wants to fit in his exercising. So, but I did get down here at 8:20, not 8:15, but 8:20, and here I am. So let's see how that goes. The other one is to make time for playing the bass, which I sometimes feel quite guilty about because it's a pleasure and there's so much to do in any family, and in, you know, I don't want to sort of leave other people in the lurch or Spencer in the lurch. So he suggests tacking it on to, you know, I finish my work, I play bass for 20 minutes and then I go in, or things like that that make it regular. Again, I'll see how I do, because, you know, the best laid plans, that might be what I plan to do, and then I get a phone call from the school, can you come and get so-and-so, they've just been sick, or whatever it is. We'll see. We'll see how Atomic Habits sit with family life. So the other thing that I've been doing is working up the marketing strategy, which is much easier for me, actually. That's my background before I was a psychotherapist. And we have a sort of more of a statement of who we are. We are, well, not we, Divine Funk are a touring, immersive nightlife production with festival scale spectacle and luxury brand aesthetics. So I'm working on the blurb and the sales pitch at the moment with Caroline, getting all the marketing materials together, you know, photographs, videos, that kind of thing, so it's easily to hand. And this week we are beginning to start the selling, but part of that starts with our positioning and where we are, because we're not just a band and we're not just a, you know, a DJ with extras. We are a touring nightlife, immersive nightlife production. So that's it for me for today. I will see you, let's be definite about it, on Thursday in Waitrose car park at 8:15. And I'll be all this week having a look at 1% improvements to my system all the way through and see how that helps things grow at Glitterball. Okay, you take very good care. Bye-bye.